everyone, it is Jai, that Aussie metal guy here with Crannk.com, and today I'm catching up with someone whose impact on extreme music and on countless people personally can't really be overstated. He's a creator, a survivor, a rebel spirit, one of the most important voices in modern metal. You may know him as the driving force behind the unholy power of Behemoth, as well as the mastermind of the Dark Outlaw Blues project, Me and the Man, the one and only Adam Nergal Darski. For decades, he's redefined what extreme music can be, visually, musically, philosophically, and I can say from experience that his work has carried people through some very dark places, myself included. Behemoth are gearing up to return to Australia in February 2026, tearing through Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, and Adelaide with special guest Nidhogg. Adam Nergal, thank you so very much for joining me, my friend.
I think we're done.
We're done. We're out of here, mate.
What else you need? You just said it all.
I know, dude. Really, really excited for this one, dude. Super,
I
super
see that.
fucking excited for you to get back down under as well, man. I missed you last time, so I'm
Oh,
super, super fucking keen. Bringing Nidhogg along. You must
yeah.
be keen to get back down under.
Totally, totally. I mean, I already did like what 3 or 4 interviews yesterday with Aussie journalists, and like I can't stop. I can't stop my like hold my excitement and how I'm stoked. I'm about coming back down there, and yeah, I mean like whenever there's like a Australia up in the air, I'm like I have nothing but great memories and great feedback and great adventures. And I also every time I underline that it's I'm not being nice, okay? Because if I don't like something, I just don't like something. But for some reason and for many reasons, Australia is this one of those markets that has nothing but behemoths and Nergal's love. So it feels awesome.
Yeah, well, you've always shown a deep loyalty to Australia, and Australia has returned that favour as well, and
True.
kind of makes those shows hit really differently for you and for the fans as well.
Yeah, I mean, I also said that already a couple of times. The very first tour we did there was already quite a success. I mean, a success to the point that our local promoters that they obviously decided to continue, that like so basically with every touring cycle, with every next record, we just come back down there and do a full tour and eventually like every next tour would just grow bigger and bigger. Not by like super decent numbers. I mean, like it was decent numbers, but like how much bigger you can grow in a market that is limited. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That people can't really travel much. It's just like what, 5 big cities there,
Yep.
as far as I'm concerned, and that's this many metalheads. So if you do like 5% more than the last time, it's already a huge number. And that's basically what we did, like gradually, like slowly growing bigger and bigger. And I mean, considering Australian standards, I think I mean, that was really that was very satisfactory numbers. So, like, yeah, I mean, I love it. I love it, and I'm happy that we're coming. I don't remember which tour is that in order. I'm guessing a fifth one
Yeah.
or a seventh one.
It's
I
been
don't
a
know.
few. It's been a few, eh? And I was absolutely spewing last time. I couldn't get to see you guys because, like, I will talk about this as well because, like, you went through some personal shit, and your music was like, you as a person was something. If I don't mind sharing, was really
Sure.
something I looked up to. I went through a battle with cancer, stage 4 cancer in 2023, and I was already a fan of your music and who you were personally. And your story and what you went through and who you were as a person was something I kind of held on to. And your music was something I blasted a lot. Not only me and that man, but Behemoth, dude, was huge for me. I remember going into radiotherapy sessions, man, and fucking the nurses would be like, "Oh, what do you want to hear?" And like I'd be blasting out some Behemoth for the nurses. Thank you. Um, Tell me a little bit about kind of because I know you went through your battle as well. What did going through something like that change in you as a person and as an artist?
Well, in the first place, I must say that you sharing this experience with me now, I mean, talking about this experience is already a big deal because it kind of like marks that already that, interview was quite heavy in a way, you know what I mean? It's not just, some small talks, hey, oh, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It's already heavy, it's serious. And whenever I hear things like that, I'm like, it's not a burden, definitely. But it's a heavy weight. And since I've underwent like my own like sessions, like chemo and
Yep.
radiotherapy and all that, and that was brutal, obviously, and you know that from your own experience. And I'm happy that you're alive, and basically that's awesome, And it's good to be alive,
Oh,
and
dude.
yeah, and I'm surprised. I'm still kind of surprised, this music can really like be so uplifting. And whenever I talk about Behemoth and the evil, like the evil nature of that music, which is a fact, and the satanic poetry behind that, that obviously I relate to like deeply, like it's not gimmicks,
No.
it's me,
Yep.
For like 34 or 5 years now, I couldn't be faking something like that, it's I live by those words, I stand behind them. Yet for some weird reason, this music and this message can be extremely uplifting and vibrating, like positively
Yep.
vibrating, and that is amazing. That is absolutely awesome, and I definitely take it as a big compliment, and I'm gonna carry it through the rest of the day and hopefully through the rest of my life that you shared this story. So yeah, yeah. What else can I say? That's the
Well,
biggest
it
compliment.
changes your whole life, doesn't it? I suppose coming out of that, it would have kind of recharged because I had this new energy. Like, obviously, I done all that chemo, the radio, and it takes it out of you. But when you start coming out of that, you have this energy, I suppose, and this new lease on life. And kind of, I
True.
felt that with you as you come out of that with Behemoth and with me and that man as well, and all this other stuff. You've been like
Yeah,
super.
yeah. I mean, like one of the conclusions that I, took out of this experience was that I don't really want to waste any of my time, because it's so precious. And I was still relatively young when I finished my battle successfully. I was 33, if I'm correct, 34. See, 33, Jesus didn't make it. I did. It's 1-0 to me. And yeah, I mean, I came out very hungry for life. I came out very hungry for like life experiences. I would just jump into projects, without really thinking and analyzing much. I don't know if you were, as part of this Voice of Poland thing in, I don't know if you have Voice of Australia, but there's Voice of America, like this idol kind of program.
Yep.
That's that's okay, it's not really stupid. It's actually pretty cool, At least that's how I perceive it back
I thought it
then,
was really great what you'd done, the voice in Poland. I thought it was amazing. People look at black metal and you and the band Behemoth and just have this immediate, if they don't know the band and you as a person, just have this kind of, they're just this heavy, brutal band. But when I say you're just such a giving person and what you do and your outlook, your philosophy, and when I seen you doing the voice Poland, it just fit for me, dude. Like, totally.
Yeah, I mean, like, see, like maybe before, like prior to the sickness, I'll be just concerned about like what people would think
Yep.
or would say, how they would judge me or how they perceive me, But then again, I was relatively young, The older you get, and like if you have those kind of experiences under your belt, you just don't give a flying fuck, You just do whatever you feel like your intuition tells you everything, and like the rest, like these bollocks, I don't give a fuck, And I did that, and it was a success, I wouldn't do it again, and probably I w wouldn't have done it, let's say at the age of 25, because I don't know, probably lack of confidence and so forth, But mm, I don't know. I just felt like, okay, oh, cool project. Yeah, let's do it. Other than that, I was really broke, so I really needed money. And that was a pretty decent paycheck, So I I didn't have to do it, but I was like, okay, if I do it, that's gonna like support me financially, and that was something that I very much needed at the time. The band wasn't touring, there was no plans whatsoever. So I was like, okay, I got to do something, to earn my living. And so I mainly did it for the money, and I don't have problems admitting that. But I also felt like, I kind of perceived myself as a Trojan horse,
Yep.
that would just, put on like this mainstream TV, and I could, make my contestants fucking sing Nirvana, Metallica, AC/DC, and like cool songs, cool rock songs, like mostly heavy stuff, So, and none of the other like trainers, that's what we were called, would do that. It would be all pop and maybe rock music, and I would go with heavy metal, Iron Maiden. I would make a fucking 7-month pregnant woman sing Run to the Hills.
Yeah.
Top that, top that. And she killed it. She was amazing. Her name is Monica. If you haven't seen it, and you're watching this interview, go on YouTube and just paste in like Nergal, Voice of Poland, Run to the Hills, and you'll see that. And you'll see my reaction to that. I was on fire just watching that, and she was killing it. So I think that I made some people laugh, and I made some people smile, and I don't know, maybe you know, some of the spectators would just watch and like, okay, what's that? Iron Maiden? I don't know. And they would just Google and maybe they became fans whatsoever. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun, and I'm happy I did that, and yeah, I kind of opened up myself, for a lot of other experiences afterwards, and yeah, I mean, after all, I'd say that that whole concert experience was very beneficial. It was very enriching and fruitful on so many levels. It beat me up. It made me impotent. I mean, like not impotent, but I after all that napalm that I was received,
Uh,
I can't have children. I
yeah.
mean, I can because I froze my stuff before,
Yeah.
but it killed my potence, so to say.
I know, dude. I was the same. I had like fucking 6 weeks radiotherapy and 4 months chemo. So you know what the drill is. They kind of line you up with the tattoo dots, dude, and then they just microwave the shit out of you for as long as you need to go. It's a hell of an experience. So I kind of did the same as well.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, it's very complicated and it's not easy. Like we kind of talk about it lightly here,
Yeah.
and I see a super vital person, very like positive, and that's awesome. I don't know if you were that before, but I mean,
No,
I
not
mean,
not as much, dude. It kind of really makes you appreciate each fucking day, dude. Like literally, like it's like you just get up and go. It takes a while though to kind of get that headset right, doesn't it? Though to go, okay, then like to get
yeah.
over all that shit.
Yeah, I think, it kind of made me mature a bit faster and made me realize what really is important in life. I mean, I wouldn't avoid like mistakes. Obviously, I would like from that moment on, I would still make many mistakes
Yep.
when I retrospect. But I don't know. I think that I matured up like really fast afterwards.
Yeah. Got to talk about the shit of God, dude. A drop in May, man. It came out swinging, man. It's absolutely brutal album.
Thank you.
Loved it, man. Tell me a little bit about the driving creative force behind this one.
Well, I wanted to make a record that is shorter. I always looked up to fucking my D sides, Legions and Raining Blogs and stuff like that. So like I'm not, I mean, and even Opus Contra Naturam was not super long. It was like what 42 minutes, which is quite average. And I Love You to Darkest was 46 minutes, if I'm correct. So it's not super long. But for some reason, the experience of listening to those both records, it feels like they're way longer. I don't know. It's probably like the whole, like the composition of the rap, the structure of the whole album, how everything is, paced down there, and like how is everything, like all the ingredients, how they put together, it makes you think, oh shit, it's a long record. No, they were not long, that's how they were made, that's how they were structured. So this new one, I really wanted to make sure that, when you know, push play, you'd be like, oh shit, it's over already? Boom, again, again.
Yep.
And I bet that is exactly, that we achieved that effect, because I mean, obviously there were people bitching, what? Only 38 minutes? I mean, like, do you really have problems with 38 minutes of extreme metal music? It's still too much. For most, it's way too much to fucking handle because it's extreme.
Yeah.
It's brutal. But at the same time, I that was the first thing I had in mind, when putting, like, building the record. And second, essential idea that I had was like, I want to write bangers. I don't want to overthink too much. I want to make songs that I can pick any of those songs and play them live, like, flawlessly, and have fun.
Yeah.
So the main test, like, if the song is gonna make it to the record or not, was like us rehearsing the song in the rehearsal room. And if we play it, we perform it. We don't pay too much attention to the left hand, and we're having a big fucking bananas on our faces, which means like, yeah, oh, that's awesome. That is the ultimate test. And like, I think that is a good song. You know what I mean? Because obviously, like, let's say Opus Contra Naturam, which is still like decent record, but there's 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 way more going on there, like, and songs like epic tracks like Versus Christus, that we still did perform live, but they were so complex. I'd say they're even there was more progressive element there, and so was I Loved You at Your Darkest, way more progressive. So this one I wanted to just make bangers,
Yeah.
because that was a need, that was the reaction to the last two records. And second, I'm like, man, I mean, people's attention, people's focus is so distracted these days, Make it short, make it compact, and make it just boom, KO, fuck off, that's it. And that was the main idea, too. And third one, which is quite important to underline here, is that after ambitiously giving those complex Bible quotes and Jung-inspired titles like Opus Contra Naturam, I Loved You at Your Darkest, and so forth, that people can't fucking even remember, and they like, oh, this love record, or this opus record, they cannot fucking remember three words. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna give you an album title that you will never ever fucking
Forget.
forget in your life. And I don't give a fuck if you think there's a shitty record. I mean, shitty title, nomen omen. That is a shitty title. Friends, but that's gonna be as easy for you to remember as like there's nothing as easy to remember. It's gonna piss you off. It's gonna make you laugh. It's gonna make you cry. It's gonna make you bitch about, me. It's gonna disturb so many people and confuse so many people. But trust me, give it some time and people will go back to that and will just, say the shit of God without, you know, thinking how weird of a title it is. It is what it is. Fucking deal with it. There's no other title in the whole black metal scene like that. And as much as I find most of the black metal scene these days extremely pretentious, this one is just boom, straight to the point, and that's it, That's it. It's very easy, straightforward, brutal, unapologetic, and just one of a kind. And a title that's gonna stick out from billions of other album titles out there in the market. And we succeeded. And if people like it or not, I'm like, that's the list of my on the list of my interests. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in the effect, and the effect was fucking massive, impactful.
It was an absolutely ripping album, and Shit of God, by the way, makes an absolutely fucking ripping ringtone. You should see the looks when that kicks off in some places, dude. It's pretty funny, man.
And and you know what? And you know what? I remember what I said also like publicly. I didn't really do any interviews to that record. I think I did like maybe five total
Yeah.
because I was just done, you know. It felt like, you know, I've said everything about everything already, you know. So I just withdrew from the whole like promotional activities due to, I was just, you know, burnt out, you know, on that level, you know. But I remember saying that, you know what? Just watch. We go on tour and you'll see crowds chanting along, "We are the shit of God," you know? And like I know there was a lot of bitching on there, like YouTube when we released the song, you know. I mean, that was also funny. Fun fact. We released the shit of God, and all I paid attention was the numbers of comments. That is the most commented song from all our career. It was like boom, massive, you know. And I didn't give a fuck, you know, about the substance of those comments. I wouldn't go into that, you know. Obviously, I can guess, you know, that half of maybe more most of the people were like, "Oh, you can do better, Nergal. Oh, you could have called the record the Shadow Elite." And I'm like,
Uh,
yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. But if I call the record the Shadow Wallet, would you be talking about it now? No. You
and
would
it's
just take it. You would just take it and forget it. The Shadow Elite. Yeah, cool. So fucking what? The shit of God. I don't know if it's cool, but you're still fucking talking about it.
damn fucking straight, man. It's a ripping album. Cunts are always going to bitch. I chat to Glenn speaking of Deicide, and he said it's like, briefly, he said it was like people walking into a restaurant, getting a free steak, and then getting up and bitching. It's like, shut the fuck up, eat the steak, and don't bitch about it. You know what I mean? Just crank the shit of God. It's a ripping album, and everyone's going to be screaming that fucking when you get down under in February at Nergal, mate. This has been an absolute fucking pleasure and one for me to tick off. Everybody grab those tickets via the Phoenix AU. Sell this fucker out so we can all be chanting, "We are the shit of God." Last word, shout outs. Thank yous are all on you, mate.
And man, it was a pleasure talking, and I'm happy that you're smiling and you're alive, you know, and make sure to come backstage or like whatever, just make your way backstage. We shake hands, we maybe, you know, share a drink or whatever. I don't know if you drink. I don't really drink, you know, but we
No,
can
neither do
still,
I anymore.
yeah, see, we can still toast with water, you know. I mean, it counts.
Damn straight. Absolute bloody legend. Catch you then, mate.